Hey, what's up, you guys? It's been a little while, but I'm bringing another action figure review to you. And this is the Hobgoblin from the retro series Spider-Man Wave, classic Spider-Man animated series, but kind of mixed with comic book. Now, I've been wanting a Hobgoblin for a long time, but I have big issues with this figure. And if you watch a lot of other people's reviews on YouTube, they have big issues with this figure as well. So I'm torn on it. I'm torn on this figure. On the one hand, I like it. I like it a lot. But on the other hand, it has a lot of problems. One big major problem that I'm about to get into shortly. So the biggest issue, which pretty much is obvious, is his glider. His glider is a major issue. I couldn't even get the damn thing. I mean, I can get it on, but it won't stay on. His feet kept slipping out, and as you can see, he's in this awkward kind of like, I couldn't even pose him correctly. Like, there's no, the way how they made the glider, there's no way you can pose him the way you would want to pose him. Like, take my Green Goblin for example. I'm just gonna bring him in here. Take Green Goblin for example. Now you see how his legs are on his glider that I did. It's perfect. This is how a goblin should look on his glider. Now, although I bought this glider separately, he came with a different glider. But even on his other glider that he came with, you can still get Green Goblin in a pose like this. That's natural, and it's supposed to be that way. This dude right here does not look natural. There's nothing about him on this glider where he looks natural. He looks uncomfortable. He looks like he has arthritis in his legs. I mean, they totally fucked this up. And it's something that they've been doing for years. So I don't know how they fucked it up so bad. How did they mess this up? How they messed up the Hobgoblin with his glider? How they messed that up? I have no idea. But that's my whole rant on the glider. I'm probably gonna rant on it some more later. But anyway, but the figure itself, I actually don't really have problems with it. Maybe because this is my first Hobgoblin and I've never had a Hobgoblin in my collection. So maybe that's what it is, but I actually don't mind the way how he looks. I don't have a problem with his face sculpt. I don't have a problem with the paint. I mean, is it a little flat? Yes, but speaking of which, let's get into how the way he looks. Let's get into that. So yeah, like I said, the way how he looks. I don't have a problem with his head sculpt. I think it's fine. Now I know why a lot of people are complaining about it. So for the people who has the I forgot what build a figure wave that came with, but for the people who has the other Hobgoblin figure that came out previously years ago, which now is selling on eBay for like ridiculous prices, 70 something, 80 something, 90, even 100 and something, if it's in the box in mint. Yeah, so that Hobgoblin figure I mean, I did see it. Like, I saw other people compare this Hobgoblin to that Hobgoblin on YouTube, so I did see it. It did have a little more paint. It definitely had more sculpt work. And he had the what do you call those that the goblins have? Like the Green Goblin. I'm gonna bring him back out. These little scaly things, like that's what most people want with their goblins. So that Hobgoblin had this whole scaly thing going on, and he probably had more paint, yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's the better figure. Obviously, and he cannot keep the pumpkin bomb in his hand to save his life. So I'm just going to just leave it off of his hand right now, but I'm going to show it. So this is the translucent pumpkin bomb, and I like it. This is a plus for me right here. I like the translucent pumpkin bomb. I like it very much. Yeah, so I like this. I like the translucent pumpkin bomb. It is very awesome. Like it a lot. Like it a lot. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's the same pumpkin bomb as this Green Goblin, which I keep bringing in because I love this Green Goblin so much, especially since I custom painted his eyes fully yellow, because those bugged out mushroom eyes that he had just wasn't working for me. But anyway, back to this figure. This is about the Hobgoblin. So I keep comparing him to the Green Goblin, but I can't help it. Yeah, so the other Hobgoblin figure, had those, things that I was talking about, the gills or whatever you want to call it. This Hobgoblin does it. They went for a more animated series approach, which is fine. And a lot of people are complaining that he doesn't have the pointy shoes, which I'm gonna bring in Green Goblin again. The pointy shoes, as you can see, pointy. A lot of people are complaining that he doesn't have the pointy shoes, but if they're basing this Hobgoblin off the animated series, he didn't have pointy shoes. And I don't have a problem with that. So I like that. I like that he doesn't have the pointy shoes. Actually, but a lot of people are pissed because these shoes does not work for the glider. That's the biggest egregious thing that they did. And I totally agree because I can't put him on the damn glider without it falling off every 2 seconds. So, but I do like the way how the boots look, and I do like that that they went the animated series approach. I do like that. He's not going to have the gills, like the Green Goblin, because this is based on the animated series, correct? So yeah, so it's nothing wrong with that. They might mix a little comic book in there. I don't know. His face sculpt. I mean, I watched the animated series recently. I guess it could be either or. I mean, I don't really see it has to definitively be animated series or comic book. I think it could work either way. You can mash it up in your collection either way you want. That is, if you want this figure. I assume a lot of people probably won't want this figure because of all the problems. What I paid for him wasn't bad. I paid 20 something for him, but really, to be honest, I'd rather pay less for him. Like, if you can get him like on the cheaper sale for maybe like $16 or something like that, that's what I was looking for, but I never really found it. So I just said, fuck it. I just said, I'm just going to pay it and get him. Because I want a Hobgoblin in my collection. I wanted one. I needed one, and now I have him. So, yeah. So, I mean, the paint is pretty flat. As you can see, he got his little purse there. Purple one. He got, it's just flat paint. So I guess that's why people are so pissed about it, because Hasbro is getting so cheap, and they're charging extra for their figures, and they need to stop doing that. I do like the tattered, torn holes in his cape. I like that as well. That's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. But it's just mostly flat paint. So yeah, so that's just what's going on with Mr. Hobgoblin so far. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all it is to him for the aesthetic. All right, so let's get into articulation with Mr. Hobgoblin here. So his head can go up about that much. Goes up about that much. Not too bad. It goes down about that much. His arms go out. If I can get them to go out like I want them to. His arms can go out about that much. His arms can do full 360. There's no butterfly joint, upper bicep swivel, double jointed knees. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He does have a wrist and hinge rotation, and he does crunch up and down. He does have a full 360 waist twist. He does do the splits all the way out, which is very rare for Marvel Legends. They don't usually do that. It's usually a McFarlane that does that. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and he does have boot rotation, and his feet hinges up and down, and he does have ankle pivot. So you're pretty much good, but standard articulation for Marvel Legends. This glider is horrendous. I had to put tape in there. I had to put glue tape, as you can see, glue masking tape, just so his feet could get in the damn glider. I also did it also with my Green Goblin, just because, I don't want him to fall off, like when I keep him on a shelf or something like that. So, so this figure, like I said, I'm torn on it. I don't really need to do size comparisons. Y'all could just look on how he, first I gotta get him to stand, but y'all could just see for yourself, like how because I got the Spider-Man characters in the background, so, you could see for yourself, that's all the size comparison basically that you need. You could see him standing there, with all the other Spider-Man people in his in the Spider-Man Spider-Verse, or I said Spider-Verse, Spider-Man characters or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much my review, guys. I'm torn on this figure. I'm probably going to give it a 6 out of 10. I would go 5 out of 10 just for that freaking glider alone, because that glider is absolutely acid fuel. It's just absolute nightmare fuel. But I mean, I'll be generous. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 is because the only reason I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 is because I finally have a Hobgoblin in my collection. So that excites me, even though his glider is a piece of crap. But I do have another glider that I can give him, actually. I can give him Green Goblin's old glider, because I have that. So if this glider just aggravates me too damn much, I'll just give him that glider. That's probably what I should have did for this review anyway. But I have to dig it from my shelf. I have to dig in my action figure collection and dig it out. So that's going to be a pain in the ass. But yeah, my final verdict, he gets a 6 out of 10. The paint is fine. The sculpt of what little bit there is fine. I like his face sculpt. I like it. I like the colors on him, and I like that he's a mix of animated series and comic book. I like that. I like it a lot. So yeah, so that's my final verdict. A 6 out of 10. That's my daughter in the background, guys. She's playing with her toys. Yeah. So that's basically my review. That's how I feel about the figure. The glider was absolutely nightmare acid fuel. It's the most egregious thing about this figure. Yeah, the glider. But everything else I'm pretty much fine with. I'm glad I finally have a Hobgoblin in my Spider-Man collection. So oh, it's almost one more thing that I forgot to do. Almost one thing. Yeah, so I thought that this would be really cool. You can, put a head on there. And I chose this head. This is the Icarus guy from the Eternals movie. I don't know if I'm gonna do a review of that figure or not. You guys can let me know in the comments if you want me to. I'm thinking about it. I might do it, because I mean, I did buy the damn figure, and I bought him for mad cheap too, only $10. So that just goes to show you that nobody cares about the Eternals at all. If somebody sold this to me for $10, I mean the whole figure, not just the head, but the whole figure. I was expecting to find just his head for like $10, but no, I got the whole damn figure for the $10. But I wanted like a custom version of like Ned Leeds, or I keep forgetting the other people that was the Hobgoblin. Yeah, but there's two other guys that was the Hobgoblin. I think Robert Kingsley, I think, was the other one, if I'm remembering his name correctly, and there's somebody else that was the Hobgoblin, but I can't remember. So there was like 3 or 4 different people that was the Hobgoblin, but the most I recognized, especially from reading the comic books, was Ned Leeds. And the other 2 or 3 guys that was the Hobgoblin, they're from the comic books too, but they just never caught their character never caught me like Ned Leeds. I think Ned Leeds was more established in the Spidey comics back then. There was a lot of dialogue between him and Betty. But anyway, so that's my review, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, see ya.